blast right into the 3-car?
Our selfies are like
Money.
our money. I have to take one too.
Where's your, I need your newest hero card.
Okay, I'll get it for you.
Yes, dear.
What was she getting a Canadian Tire?
Beautiful. Beautiful!
Oh, and then Honda. Yeah, change of scenery for us this week. We're down the other end of the pits, parking beside Nick Getz. A couple of his crew members, Joe and Paul, have given us a hand a couple of times throughout the week, and they stopped by earlier today, and we made a spring change in the car, and you know, they had said, hey, if you want a hand, why don't you park down beside us? It's a little better than strolling halfway through the pit. So we thought we'd give it a shot, park down here. It's a little further from the racetrack, it's a little further from the tech shed, but I think with the help from the guys right next to us, hopefully we get some results that we're looking for. While you're in there, you want to warm it up just a little bit? You want to go to tech?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to check that sway bar though.
Here?
Yeah.
I'll do this.
Hey, Chickie.
Hey,
How you doing, sweetie?
good, how are you?
Good, good. Did you hear me honking?
What? Oh, yeah. We didn't know who it was, but we heard you.
Yeah, it's like 56. We were putting a bunch in the last time we were out because it was a little free off, so we added a bunch of wedge.
You can just drop the left side. How high are you?
Like 3/16, and that was no lift. That was 3/16 static when we got in there.
Just drop it down. Take a turn off the left front. Take 2 off the left rear.
Okay.
It'll drop it down evenly.
We just went through tech lane, and the ride height was a little bit off. We're a little high on the left side, so we're just making an adjustment in the load bolt in the back and the load bolt in the front to bring the left side down a little closer to as low as we can go. Obviously, the lower they are, the lower the center of gravity, the better the car's going to handle. So we made a bunch of other adjustments, and this is just some fine tuning to get it all together. And hopefully, when we hit first practice, we're going to be good.
It doesn't have. Right?
Yeah.
Just so you know though.
Thank you.
Okay, so we made some big changes with that spring, made a couple other setup adjustments. When you do get out there, Joe says if you get in there and the car feels stable going in, if it feels good going in, we won't make any sway bar changes because it's looser than it has been in the past.
Okay.
If the car, you said, feels, or if the car feels a little free going in or doesn't feel good going in, then we'll put a little more bar in it.
Okay.
And try and break down turn entry, you know, apex, is it cutting well? And if the car's cutting really well,
cutting well last
get it
weekend.
straight and hammer the gas and see what happens, okay? So we've made a few adjustments and keep an eye on the motor, how it sounds, how it's feeling. Feels up on power, down on power, that sort of thing, okay?
Okay.
So grab your suit, you should be ready to go in a couple of hot laps.
Okay.
Yeah, asking the driver to make a change in the car is probably the most difficult change you can make to the car. You can take a spring out, put a new spring in. You can take a shock off and put a new shock on. You can put all kinds of turns and load into the sway bar. You can do all kinds of things and the car doesn't care. It's mechanical. It's just going to do what you're telling it to do. Asking the driver to change what's common for them is going to be the biggest challenge. Hopefully we get her sooner than later, and she hasn't built up a whole lot of feel for what she needs to do here now, and she's actually done a really good job of that throughout the year. And here I am asking her to change and pick up new acceleration points and maybe change the braking points as well. But practice is all about that, trying to get a feel for what do I do in the car, which change how it drives, how it affects how it handles on the racetrack, and is it positive or is it negative, and where do I want to do that to make me get the best results.
Practice was pretty good. The car was definitely a lot better, considering how loose it's been the last couple of weeks. It was good, but I think it was a little bit tight in the center on a couple laps.
I don't know what we can do. Like, we've done everything to free it up through the middle. Like with the springs on the right rear, springs on the left rear. Because it looks like as soon as you get to the apex, you're turning right here. So like the car's coming loose. Not touching anything underneath the car, is it? On your side? Okay, under I go again. We did a bunch of work in the tech shed, changed some ride heights, changed some wedge, changed some sway bar, came back, and then we ended up changing right side tires to better fit for the stagger that we're looking for. So now we got a bigger right front tire. It's going to change the sway bar. We're going to make another adjustment to the sway bar.
Getting frustrated yet?
Not at all. I love racing. Bring it on. And let me add to that answer. Am I getting frustrated? Not at all yet. If we go out and we're still a pylon, then I'll be frustrated. If it does the effect, make the effective change that we want, then I won't be frustrated. So it's a delayed frustration, if at all. Okay, fire it up. Yeah.
Oh, feel it!
Again.
Dad, feel it!
Yeah, I felt that last year. Is it okay when you're racing?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, big changes. So when you get out, drive it hard, get a good feel for it, keep picking up speed every lap, okay? You got 5, and I want you to do it hard. Love you.
Love you.
Not coming up?
The track's really, really slippery out there, which that'll tighten up over the day. It's just because it's so hot out right now. So I'm pretty sure the car's in a good state. I'm just gonna wait up for the track to tighten up a little bit, and we should be good to go.
That looks nice. Yeah, we got some NASCAR administrators up here from down in the south. I think they're up here to see a number of people at this racetrack. You look at the national results for the entire North American wide NASCAR standings, and we've got some, I think 7 in the top 25 in Division 1, which is the late model division that Kendra's running. We've got some super stocks that are up there, and our mini stocks here, Division 3, I think we're 1, 3, and 4, and 5 in the top 10 or something. So we've got some really good results here. Kendra's leading the Rookie of the Year for the NASCAR Provincial Division 1 in NASCAR, and NASCAR has really done well with Sunset being a NASCAR driver or a NASCAR track. They've got a lot of results coming from here, so a lot of eyes are on this racetrack.
Which is actually 9. Yeah. 9. Numero enough.
Hi, considering how you felt.
Yeah, I'm happy. It handled a lot better in qualifying, and my dad was telling me that a lot of the other drivers on the track seemed to be really loose, but I wasn't loose, so hopefully I can use that to my advantage in the first feature. Joe gave me 9.
Nice.
He's going to the back. 9. I start 9.
So we're gonna do a bunch of changes then, Paul.
Okay, relax. No changes.
You wanna free it up a little bit by taking a little wedge out?
It was a tiny bit loose off. Like not a lot, but like a little bit. So if you want.
How was it through the middle?
It was good through the
3,
middle.
4, 5.
It was good through the middle. It was good 1, good 2, good 3, a little bit loose 4, good 5. This year especially, I've learned a lot more about the car and I've become more aware of what's going on when I'm in the car and where and when and how severe it is. So I think being able to relay how the car is to my dad, it makes it a lot easier to make a lot of changes and to decide that's too much or that's not enough. Let's go. 9.
Hey, listen. I don't want to see you.
All right, sounds good.
That's fine, Richard. That's fine.
I need lip tap.
Okay, pull it up here. Roll, green. Great start. Stay on the bumper. Roll it in. And outside. Big hit. Come on, big drive into 3. Start rolling. Burn. No pressure. Half back behind you. That's it. Nice turn. Now big burn. Get up to that 20. Outside. Roll it into 3. Nice in. Tight. Outside. Big in. Come on. Big in. Outside. Still outside. No pressure from behind.
I think although I was not, and I'm still not super great at qualifying, the last 2 weeks I think where I stepped back and where I am not very good in qualifying is I don't know where my limit is as much when I'm by myself as opposed to when I'm with other cars beside me. I like to use the cars beside me as a gauge to, okay, they're letting off now, I'll let off now. Okay, they're getting on the gas now, I'll get on the gas now. So I think I've gotten a little bit better at that, definitely in qualifying. And I honestly think that I'm nailing my qualifying setup. Unfortunately, that's not the setup I want for the race. So I think a lot of people are having problems with their qualifying setups, as a lot of people were really loose today in qualifying, but my car performed amazing in qualifying, which I think was due to the setup. And we're finally getting that down, and we got a good spot, which helped us in the first feature. Unfortunately, we had that incident where we spun out in the top 10 and just couldn't get back. So walk it down. I think I was in 9th, and somebody tried to pass me going into turn 3, 4, and my dad was telling me protect low, as if someone's coming inside. So as I moved down the track and set up for the corner, someone was barely inside me, as in they were just inside my rear tail cone. They weren't even on my rear quarter panel, which in racing, you should have your wheel up to my wheel, my rear wheel, or up to my door. That's where it's considered fair, and that's when you're really there. This particular driver dives it in the corners a lot, and a lot of the drivers run a line that's really high into the corner. You barely hit the bottom, and then you're off coming out of the corner, which is difficult to gauge when you're trying to get underneath somebody in the beginning of the corner. Because instead of coming into the corner like this with a driver, you're coming in, they're coming in like this, and you're coming in like this, which is where you get all your spin outs. Unfortunately, that's the way it worked, and we ended up getting a left rear flat. I think something else went wrong, because I don't think that the flat tire and changing it to one of the same size would have given me the same problems that it did.
She she was very upset after the first feature after getting spun out. I mean, it's part of racing. You get hit, you get spun out. Sometimes it's a racing deal, and sometimes it's you think to yourself, wow, there was no need for it. That wasn't your spot. You shouldn't have done it, but it happens, and it happens both ways. She was very upset, spoke with the other driver, and hopefully they cleared the air. There was no ill intent from the other driver when she spoke to him, so you know, she said her piece, and it is what it is. It's someone that she races with every week because they run around on the racetrack at about the same spot. They're 1 point apart, or 1 spot apart in the points. They're really close in points getting down to the end of the race, so the end of the season. So, you know, every point that they beat one another is very important on the racetrack. Do I think that had a role in what happened out there? I don't think that it does. So she was very, very frustrated, and even more frustrated that after the incident, the car was just absolutely terrible. It went from running really well. We had one of our better qualifying efforts in a full field. The car was just terrible, loose so bad, couldn't get on the throttle. The car was just terrible all the way around. You know, tough night for her, tough night for us. There is a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of family. You know, the people from NASCAR are up, so you know, of course, you want to put your best foot forward and have a really, really good night. As much as they know one night doesn't make the whole season, it'd be nice to put in your best night when people are around, whether it be friends, family, people from NASCAR, other track officials, other track people are here. It'd be great to put in a good night and finish the year strong. We've got 2 more nights after tonight to finish off the year, so we definitely need to do some work for the next 2 nights.
I'm going to talk to Ernie.
Wait for your dad, please.
I don't want you guys to come with me because I don't want to look like a little girl.
Okay, then you know what? You want to go talk to Ernie, but talk to just Ernie. Don't let any of
I will.
be around. Just say, Ernie, can I talk to you for a minute?
I will.
There was a bunch of them down there. It's okay.
Will they?
Come on.
I will. I'm just frustrated because he wants to race me like this when I race him clean every week. It's fine. I just want to know why it happens like all the time.
No, it's nothing to do with you. Just, I got you a little bit, and then I think, okay, she might let, you know what it's like.
Yeah,
might let me go, might not.
But I couldn't let you go because I was being spun out. Like, if you tapped me and I saved it, I wouldn't have wrecked you the next corner. But
Oh no,
like,
I didn't want to spin you.
But I don't know. Like, I just feel like it happens all the time, and it's really frustrating when like NASCAR's here. I'm up for a bunch of awards, and we're both in the top 10. You're doing great. I'm pretty sure you're ahead of me. Like.
It happens, and it happens both ways. She was very upset, spoke with the other driver, and hopefully they've cleared the air. There was no ill intent from the other driver when she spoke to him, so you know, she said her piece, and it is what it is.
Sunset Speedway, we have our final fan appreciation of the year where drivers hand out their hero cards and their autographs, take pictures with the fans, and it's almost like Halloween here. Everybody comes over and we bring out chocolate and chips and everything else. It's a great way to meet the drivers and to actually have them see that we're just normal people just like them. Kids love it, and so do a lot of the adults here. So it's a great way to meet people, and it's a great way to realize that your dreams really aren't that far off. Off there. Kit Kat.
Yeah. There's so much room. Yes. All kinds of room.
There you go. No problem. There you go. No problem. Oh, thank you. For you.
You know what? I listened to an interview with Richard Petty, and Richard Petty autograph, his autograph is flawless.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that?
No. And in the autograph they asked, in the interview they asked him, they said, why is your autograph always so perfect? He said, fans stand in line for hours to meet.
Yeah.
He said, the least I can do is to take 15 or 20 seconds to actually sign my
To a
name.
perfect autograph. Wow,
And
that's
he's
so
done it
true.
his entire career. To date, I think he said he's got 1.7 million autographs signed.
Holy. That's crazy. Yeah.
When you're famous.
Okay, I will. Thank you. No problem. I'm doing good on the chocolate.
Wonderful things there. All about the food.
All about the chocolate.
Still taking it?
So basically, we haven't really been able to find out what's going on with the car. It's been crazy when how it changes, it flip-flops between tight, loose, tight, loose. It'll run great, and then something will happen, and it shouldn't change it like that, but it does.
So for the second feature,
I hate my life.
we've taken all those spring rubbers out.
Okay.
That's going to tighten the car up. Yeah, the top line. So about 3/4 full. Okay, once we're good there, we can top it up or
And then-
cap it off.
And then,
We'll do the fronts here, and then we'll come up with a plan.
what else did you change? So you took all those out, and then what?
Well, during the race, you put 2 turns out of the right rear and 7 turns into the left rear to try and tighten the car up. Didn't work.
No, it didn't work.
To the floor and hold it on the floor.
Okay.
Hold it there. 10 full pushes. and then
Before you need to
top
top up?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's the Adams Motorsports maintenance package right there.
We need to stop living. What is this?
It's the pad falling out and us not checking that chemical. That whole check comes with that. I
Show
showed
the camera.
I showed Jenny, he's like, you're killing me.
We suck. So, Dad, can I get out now?
No, we're gonna bleed this side once I do this pad.
Hurry, they want to see me.
So the brake pedal
I got
shifted out
fans.
the caliper and fallen half out. So the brake pedal's been poor, and that's something that's been going on for at least a couple of races, I'd say. So shame on us for not finding that in the shop. Much better.
The second feature did not go as planned. It started off, the car was a lot better than before. Unfortunately, it just got crazy tight again. After a long day of mechanical failures and not being able to set up the car, you get really disappointed and kind of put down. But honestly, and I usually don't say this, I'm really glad that today's over. I'm exhausted, my team's exhausted, and we're all out of ideas on what to do with the car. I know we're missing something huge, and there's definitely a problem with our steering. But, I mean, that's racing. You go from 6th place and running in 4th the week before to finishing almost last in 2 features. So, I mean, that's the way it is, and it really sucks, and I hate it. And I hate it for all the people that came out and watched me today, and I hate it for my sponsors, and I hate it for my team. I mean, it's not just me getting let down when the car doesn't perform or I don't perform very well, it's the whole team. So it's pretty disappointing in that way, but I think we're all glad that tonight's over and we can kind of come back next week, do a lot of work on the car, hopefully go to practice on Wednesday, and then we'll come back with a fresh slate and a fresh mind for next Saturday.